Hi there, I'm the book lady, and I'm so glad you are joining me today because I brought two wonderful books. And some of them one of them may, actually both of them may be familiar to you in the sense that we have done another Llama Llama book. This is Llama Llama, Graham and Grandpa. Graham and Grandpa. Oh, it's a sweet book, and I think you will really enjoy it. And then we're going back to see the Berenstain Bears and the bad influence. What is an influence? It's something or someone that kind of tugs you one way or the other. Bad, or maybe they're a good influence. And this is going to be an interesting book to talk about when we finish it. I'm going to start with Llama Llama, Graham and Grandpa by Anna Dewdney. Oh, and look at the wonderful pictures. See that cover page? I think it's pretty. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you something before I start. This whole book is written in rhyme. Do you know what rhyme is? It's words that sound alike, like book and look, and chair and hair, okay? So this whole book is written in rhyme. Let's start. Llama Llama, big, big day. It's a first, a special stay. Pack up clothes and PJs tight. Llama's going overnight. Who will take good care of Llama? Llama Llama's Graham and Grandpa. Bag and Fuzzy in the car. Fuzzy is his special little friend that he likes to sleep with at night. Buckle up, the drive seems far. Hugs and kisses and big hellos. Mama loves you, and off she goes. Take out socks and pants and book. Put the jammies on the hook. Feeling strange away from Mama. Oh no! Where is Fuzzy Llama? Llama dear, are you okay? Llama doesn't want to say. Grandma says, let's go outside. Climb on up, pretend to ride. Tractor, gardens, grass to mow. Llama's having fun, but oh, Fuzzy is still left at home. Maybe Fuzzy feels alone. Grandpa's workshop, lots to do. Wood and hammers, nails and glue. Llama makes a little chair. It's for Fuzzy, who's not there. Time for dinner. Help get ready. Carry dishes. Hold them steady. Grandma's house has different food. Something squishy, something stewed. Llama tries it, and it's good. Would you like more? Llama would. Dinner's over. Time for bed. Llama wants to wait instead. Grandpa says, let's see the stars. Nighttime shows us where they are. Take a bath, then comb and brush. Settle in for stories. Hush. Finish books and get a kiss. Llama dear, now what is this? Llama's lips begin to quiver. Llama starts to shake and shiver. Llama needs his Fuzzy near, but Fuzzy Llama isn't here. Oh. Wait a minute. You stay right there. Grandpa leaves, then reappears. When Grandpa was a little boy, he also had a special toy. Big or little, young or old, a llama needs someone to hold. A grandma kiss, a grandpa hug, feeling cozy, feeling snug. Llama Llama's not alone. This is home. Away from home. I think this is a cute story, maybe because I remember when I was just 4 years old and I got invited to go and spend the night at my grandparents' house. Now, I knew my grandparents and I loved them, but I had never slept away from home. Have you ever slept away from home? Well, it's exciting, but it also makes you feel kind of nervous and funny in your stomach. And so we like to take something with us that's familiar, that makes us think of home. I had a blanket. I took my blanket everywhere. It had a certain smell and a certain feel, and if I had that, I was okay. Well, the same with Llama Llama. And he gets to his grandparents' home, and he forgot his Fuzzy. And he's really nervous about it. It's kind of ruining his day. It's all he thinks about. He's nervous about going to bed. And what does Grandpa do? He digs out his old Fuzzy. And that made everything better. I like this story, and I hope you will enjoy it also. It's a good one. Llama Llama, Gram and Grandpa. Now we're going to read the Berenstain Bears, and we're going to read about the bad influence. Let's see. What's an influence? An influence is something that pulls us one way or the other. Let's say we're in our house and we smell something. Ooh, it smells good. It might influence us to actually take a taste. But it's something new. We've never, ever tasted that before. But it sure does smell good. Now let's talk about a bad influence. It could be a person or a thing. Something that pulls us in the wrong way. We might end up doing things we probably shouldn't do, and we know we shouldn't do them. But we just got pulled over that way. Well, let's see what happens about that. The Berenstain Bears. You know about the Berenstain Bears and the bad influence. One Saturday morning, Sister Bear came home looking like a storm cloud. She stomped up the front steps through the house and into the kitchen. "I'm never going to speak to that Lizzie Bruin again." "Oh dear," said Mama. "Lizzie must have done something pretty terrible." That's right. She invited me over to play Burbies. It was supposed to be just the two of us, but when I got there, Anna, Muffy, and Jill were already there with their Barbie dolls, and there wasn't any room for mine. But dear, it seems to me that you can't have too many friends. Yes, but Lizzie was my best friend, and she can only have one best friend at a time. And with that, she tossed her Barbie tote to Mama and stomped back out. Miranda Moss, who was about Sister's age, was in just as bad mood as Sister. Miranda was new in the neighborhood. She and her family had just moved in around the corner from the Bear family. Miranda didn't want to move. She was upset about it. She was upset about leaving her friends and her school and her neighborhood. I know you're upset about moving, Miranda, said her mother. But your father was transferred to the Beartown office, and we had no choice. Now, why don't you go out and have a look at your new neighborhood? Maybe you'll like it. I'll go out and have a look at it, said Miranda. But I won't like it. Yee. Sister was sitting on her front steps when Miranda came along. Hello? Said Miranda. Hello yourself, said Sister. I just moved in. What's it like here? Oh, it's not like anything. It's just a place, said Sister. Miranda looked around. It's kind of quiet. Yeah, I guess, said Sister. A little too quiet. Sister looked around. Maybe it is, she said. Is that yours? Asked Miranda, pointing to Sister's big trike. Yep, said Sister. Maybe we could go for a little spin, said Miranda. You could show me around. Sure, said Sister, mounting the trike. Hop on. Well, Miranda climbed on the back. Okay, said Sister, here we go. And off they went, with Sister pedaling hard and Miranda hanging on for dear life. Oh, good, said Mama, looking out the window. Sister has found a new friend. What's the matter with her old friends? Asked Papa, coming in from the shop for a cup of tea. Well, Sister had a falling out with Lizzie Bruin. Nothing serious. Just the usual sort of cub spat, said Mama as she watched the trike whiz by. Any good hills around here? Asked Miranda, hugging Sister a little tighter as she pedaled on. Oh, lots, but Dead Bear's Hill's the best. Well, can we try it? Sure. It's this way. I know a shortcut we can take. The trouble was that the shortcut was through Mizz McGrizz's tulips. Hi-yo, cowbear, cried Miranda. Yippee-yay, cried Sister. Mizz McGrizz was inside, watering her begonias at the time, and saw the whole thing from her window. My tulips, my beautiful tulips. One of those cubs looks like Sister Bear. Well, I just might give her mother a call. Uh-oh. Dead Bear's Hill was very high. Sister hesitated at the top. That's Farmer Ben's place down there, she said. I know, said Miranda. We bought some vegetables from him this morning. Well, Well, what? Said Sister. Are we going to go down Dead Bear's Hill or not? Asked Miranda. Why, I've gone down on a sled lots of times, said Sister, but I've never gone down on wheels. Well, there's always got to be a first time, said Miranda. Okay, said Sister, taking her feet off the pedals. Here we go. The trouble was that there was a curve at the bottom of Dead Bear's Hill, and they didn't quite make it. They rolled into Farmer Ben's orchard and into one of his apple trees. They knocked down quite a few apples. Are you hurt? Asked Miranda. I don't think so, said Sister. Hey, these look like pretty nice apples, said Miranda. Well, we're supposed to stay away from Ben's apples, but since they're already on the ground, they'll just rot, said Miranda. So they scooped up some apples and put them in their pockets. Hey, how about you pedaling for a while, said Sister. Oh, fine with me. And off they rode, munching apples. Farmer Ben was feeding his chickens at the time. He didn't know what or how it happened. All he saw were cubs loading up on his apples. Why, that's Sister Bear and that new cub. Well, their mothers are going to hear from me. Uh-oh. What's that big thing parked in the road? Asked Miranda, pedaling on at Sister's direction. Oh, that's Grizzly Gus's cement mixer. He must be doing some work. Hey, maybe we can write our names in the wet cement, said Miranda. The trouble was, they were already riding through the wet cement. Pedal harder, said Sister. Steer for the woods. Grizzly Gus was jumping up and down and waving his cement smoother. That looked like Sister Bear and that new moss cub. And he reached for his cell phone. Uh-oh. Hey, I know a way back home, said Sister, but we'll have to cross Mud Creek on those stepping stones. But the stones were for stepping, not riding. They fell in. It wasn't deep, but it sure was muddy. They pulled themselves out and headed for home. All in all, it had been quite a Saturday morning. The phones in the treehouse and the Moss's house were ringing off the hook. Yes, Mizz McGrizz. Yes, this is Mama Bear. Sister Bear and another cub? Your tulips? Oh dear. I think I know what's going on, and I'll certainly deal with it. Thank you for your call. Well, said Mama Bear, turning to Papa, I was pleased when Sister found a new friend, but it's perfectly clear that this new friend is a bad influence. Meanwhile, over at the Moss house, Mrs. Moss was on the phone with Farmer Ben. Miranda and a cub named Sister Bear stole your apples? Oh dear. I think I know what's going on, and I'll certainly take care of it. Well, said Mrs. Moss, turning to Mr. Moss, Miranda seems to have found a new friend, but unfortunately this new friend is a very bad influence. At the treehouse, Mama Bear answered the phone again. Yes, Gus, this is Mama Bear. rode through your wet cement. Sister and another cub? How awful! Oh, I'm truly sorry, Gus, but I think I know what's going on, and I'll certainly deal with it. And to Papa, she added, that new cub is an even worse influence than I thought. Sister's not to have anything more to do with her. Mrs. Moss was just as upset about Sister as Mama was about Miranda. I gather this new friend is a cub named Sister Bear, said Mrs. Moss. I'm going to call and complain to her mother. Now, I wouldn't do that, my dear, cautioned Mr. Moss. Not until... But Mrs. Moss had already placed the call. The line's busy. It was busy because Mama was trying to call Mrs. Moss to complain about Miranda. Just then, Sister came in the front door. My goodness, said Mama, you're a mess. Yeah, we fell into Mud Creek trying to ride across, but it's just mud. It'll come off, said Sister with a grin. You certainly seem a lot happier now, said Mama. Well, that's because I have a new best friend. Her name is Miranda. Yes, that's something I want to talk to you about, dear. You and this Miranda seem to have been having quite a time. I've had a number of angry calls this morning. I'm afraid this Miranda is what you call a bad influence, and I don't want you playing with her anymore. That's not fair. It was my fault, too. I was just as much a bad influence on her as she was on me. Besides, we didn't get into trouble on purpose. It was kind of an accident. Well, you two are going to have to make things right with your neighbors. Sister Bear and Miranda had a very busy afternoon. After planting some new bulbs in Mizz McGrizz's tulip patch, they stopped by and explained about the apples to Farmer Ben. Then they apologized to Grizzly Gus for messing up his new cement. He was very nice about it. He even let them write their initials in a corner of the smoothed out wet cement. The next day, Sister not only made up with Lizzie, Anna, Muffy, and Jill, she introduced Miranda to the gang. After all, it was just as Mama said. You can't have too many friends. See, they really weren't being a bad influence. They both probably made some bad decisions. Going down that big hill and forgot that there was a curve and instead went in, crashed into the tree. Yeah, they maybe should have walked the bike down the hill. Just an idea. But the special thing is, do you remember at the beginning of the book, Sister Bear was, she was grumpy. She didn't want to ever see her friends again. Well, then it ended with seeing all her friends and introducing them to Miranda. And Miranda didn't want to live in Beartown, and she was mad that she had to leave her old school and her friends and her home. But now she had a new friend, Sister Bear, and things were going to be okay for Miranda. But they had a very adventuresome morning, and they got to spend the afternoon sort of fixing the things they had messed up. And they apologized and fixed things, and everything worked out okay. I think this is a fun book, and the Berenstain Bears always have a good time, and we always learn something from them. So I would advise that you pick up the Berenstain Bears, Bad Influence. Don't be a bad influence. But if you want to be a good influence on someone, someone will not forget that. Just remember, try and be a good influence. Try and be that person that everybody's like, I want to be like them. They're nice to people, they're kind, they're respectful. They say thank you. They say, I'm sorry. We're not perfect. None of us are. So if you screw up, it's okay. But be sure you own it and say you're sorry. That's all. And if you have to spend the night at your grandparents', most of us love to spend the night at our grandparents', and it is different. It's kind of an adventure. Remember, you're fuzzy. I hope that you enjoyed the 2 books I brought to you today. And remember, you can watch The Book Lady on YouTube. Oh, I'd love to see you there. All the episodes are there. And I will be back again, and I'm going to go to my library tomorrow. And I'm going to find more books to bring to you because I love it when you join me. And until the next time, I'm the Book Lady. Bye-bye.